Hey all, welcome to ShareTreck where science meets investing, and I'm your host Raj. Friends, today we are diving deep into NVIDIA's latest earning report, and the numbers are absolutely astounding. We'll break down the financial highlights from the first quarter of fiscal 2026. We'll explore the powerful forces driving their continued dominance in the field of AI and look at the strategic moves that they are making to shape the future of computing. Stick around because this quarter had some significant developments, including impacts from new export control limitations. Before we jump into the specifics, I want to hear from you. What are your thoughts on NVIDIA's role in the global AI landscape, especially with their latest developments? Drop a comment below. I always like to read your comments, and I generally reply to all the comments. That said, let's dig deep into the fiscal 2026 financial highlights. NVIDIA has just announced its financial results for the first quarter of fiscal 2026, which ended on April 27, 2025. The figures demonstrate substantial growth, even with some new challenges that are thrown in. The company reported a total revenue of $44.1 billion. This represents a 12% increase from the previous quarter and a remarkable 69% surge from a year ago. Their data center segment continues to be a primary growth engine, achieving $39.1 billion in revenue. This is 10% from the last quarter and an impressive 73% over year from the previous year. H20 export limitations was another thing they spoke about. It's important to note that on April 9, 2025, NVIDIA is informed by the US government that a license is now required for exports of its H20 products into China market. As a direct result of that directive, NVIDIA incurred a $4.5 billion charge in the Q1 fiscal 2026 due to H20 excess inventory and purchase obligations as demand for H20 diminished. Prior to these new requirements, H20 product sales for the quarter were $4.6 billion, and NVIDIA was unable to ship an additional $2.5 billion in H20 and book those revenues. These were this time for China. GAAP and non-GAAP gross margins for the quarter were 60.5% and 61.0% respectively. However, excluding the $4.5 billion charge, the non-GAAP gross margin would have been 71.3%. GAAP earnings diluted per share stood at 0.76%, while non-GAAP earnings per diluted share were 0.81%, excluding the $4.5 billion charge and its related tax impact. Jensen Huang, founder and CEO of NVIDIA, emphasized that our breakthrough Blackwell NVL72 AI supercomputer, a thinking machine designed for reasoning, is now in full-scale production across system makers and cloud providers. He also stated that global demand for NVIDIA's AI infrastructure is incredibly strong. AI inference token generation has surged tenfold in just 1 year. And as AI agents become mainstream, the demand for AI computing will accelerate. Countries around the world are now recognizing AI as an essential infrastructure. Just like the water on the tap, intelligence is now an essential infrastructure. Just like electricity and the internet, and NVIDIA stands at the center of this profound transformation. NVIDIA will pay its next quarterly cash dividend of 1 cent per share on July 3, 2025 to all shareholders of record on June 11, 2025. This amount has been retroactively adjusted to reflect the 10-for-1 split of stock that happened on 7th of June 2024. Even though the dividend seems to be a small amount, it's the future opportunities that we are looking at. NVIDIA's relentless innovation continues to drive its growth and solidify its position at the forefront of the AI revolution. NVIDIA introduced Blackwell Ultra and Dynamo, specifically designed to accelerate and scale AI reasoning models. The company is actively building AI factories in the US and partnering globally to produce NVIDIA AI supercomputers. This includes collaborations with Huming to build AI factories in Saudi Arabia, the unveiling of the Stargate UAE in Abu Dhabi, and plans to work with Foxconn and Taiwan government to build an AI factory supercomputer. NVIDIA is accelerating the IT infrastructure transition to enterprise AI factories with NVIDIA RTX PROM or PROM servers. They also unveiled NVLink Fusion for industry to build semi-custom AI infrastructure. NVIDIA Spectrum X and NVIDIA Quantum X silicon photonics networking switches were announced. aimed at scaling AI factories to millions of GPUs. The NVIDIA DGX SuperPod built with NVIDIA Blackwell Ultra GPUs will provide AI factory supercomputing for agentic AI reasoning. Joint initiatives with Alphabet and Google are underway to advance agentic AI solutions, robotics, and drug discovery. NVIDIA Blackwell cloud instances are now available on major platforms like AWS, Google Cloud, Microsoft Azure, and Oracle Cloud Infrastructure. The Blackwell platform has also set records in inference results, delivering up to 30x higher throughput. NVIDIA launched the Open Llama Nemotron family of models with reasoning capabilities for advanced AI agents. They also introduced the NVIDIA AI Data Platform, a customizable reference design for AI inference workload. Looking ahead, NVIDIA's outlook for the second quarter of fiscal 2026 remains absolutely strong. Revenue is expected to be approximately $45 billion plus or minus 2%. This outlook reflects an estimated loss of approximately $8 billion in H20 revenue due to the recent export control limitations imposed on China. GAAP and non-GAAP gross margins are projected to be 71.8% and 72% respectively, plus or minus 50 basis points. The company is continuing to work towards achieving gross margins in the mid 70% range late this year. GAAP and non-GAAP operating expenses are expected to be approximately $5.7 billion and $4.0 billion respectively, and full fiscal year 2026 operating expense growth is expected to be in the mid 30% range. Beyond these financial figures, NVIDIA has highlighted significant progress across its key segments. First quarter gaming revenue was a record $3.8 billion, up 48% from the previous quarter and 42% from a year ago. They announced the NVIDIA GeForce RTX 5070 and RTX 5060, bringing Blackwell graphics to gamers. NVIDIA DLSS 4 is now available in over 125 games. It also has announced that the Nintendo Switch 2 will be powered by an NVIDIA processor and AI-powered DLSS. First quarter revenue was $509 million. NVIDIA announced the RTX Pro Blackwell series for workstations and servers and unveiled NVIDIA DGX Spark and DGX Station personal AI supercomputers. First quarter automotive revenue was $567 million. General Motors has collaborated with NVIDIA on next-generation vehicles, factories, and robots. NVIDIA also launched Halos, a unified safety system for automotive, and announced NVIDIA Isaac Groot N1, the world's first open humanoid robot foundation model. As you can see, despite facing some new challenges, NVIDIA continues its trajectory as a leader in AI and accelerated computing, and constantly pushing boundaries and expanding its reach across diverse industries. Well, friends, what do we conclude with this? My personal opinion is that NVIDIA definitely is a very important company, and it's going to drive the indices going forward as well. Now that the earnings are out, now that the future visions are even more articulated than it was before, I think there'll be a bit of euphoria right now, and then there'll be some profit taking. Of course, this stock is really good in my opinion. It will be in a long-term investment list, and I would be accumulating on dips. And I think that going forward, the revenue is only going to increase incrementally. I'm saying this keeping in mind that in the near term, we may have a lot of turbulence and uncertainty, which is not the fault of NVIDIA, but it's going to be the tariff drama that is being played out and the result of this particular administration's foreign policy, because of which a lot of alliances have been frayed. All of those things need to mend. And we also have this emerging dynamic that Jensen Huang himself acknowledged, that China is getting stronger because of the GPU restrictions and technology transfer restrictions. And as a result of which, there's a good chance that China might come up with its own AI, and it will be competing for a global footprint. So we have to keep all of those things in mind. But as of right now, I think hands down, NVIDIA is probably the best company in the market, not only in terms of its margins and not only in terms of its financial performance, but also because it's going to be the foundation of the next industrial revolution. And I think that's the ultimate takeaway that I would like to leave you with. So if you're a long-term investor, I think accumulating on dips is a very good idea. As far as a speculator is concerned, I think it's all going to be the technicals that you look at and take advantage of any dips that come in that are surprise sharp dips. So that's the way I think it would be like. Again, these are all my personal opinions and not financial advice. I'm not a financial services professional. I'm just a retail investor like yourself. And I look forward to your comments. Please let me know what you think about NVIDIA. And if you have any points that I have forgotten to make in this video, please put them in the comment section for the benefit of the ShareTreck community as well as for me. And friends, if you find these deep dive videos valuable and want to stay ahead of the curve on the latest in genomics, AI, and macro investing, now would be a fantastic time to hit that subscribe button, and by subscribing you'll ensure you don't miss out on our in-depth analysis and daily market insights. Well friends, that brings me to an end of this video. I'll catch up with you in the next one. Bye for now.